Hi, performers and achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. In today's episode, talking about the importance of tracking. Tracking. So anything you do, whatever it may be, do you track it? Do you track your days? What did you do today? What did you accomplish? What did you achieve? Did you track your nutrition? Did you track the amount of water you intook? Did you track spending time with your family or rejuvenating today? Did you track at work? Most likely you have a job, it's your business, it's your work, your workplace. Did you track? Someone's tracking, especially someone's in management, is tracking some kind of key performance metrics, whatever they may be. They're being tracked. And they're being tracked for lots of reasons. However, the key is are you tracking your own metrics? Because as you do, then you become more in tune with exactly the significant progress, the continuous or consistently improving, the actual accomplishments and achievements that you have that you don't just take for granted, that aren't, well, that's normally what I do, or, I do my best, which 99 point, I would say, percent of the employees, if not more, partners, customers, etc., do their best. So are we tracking the right metrics? Because what gets tracked is not only in front of mind, however, it's also a way to see where we can do, or what it would take to do a little better, or to do our best, our new best level. And it's most likely not, we'll continue doing what we're doing and just do it faster. I mean, there's some of that. However, when you're already on a consistently high performance process, team or group or organization, you all have one common goal, or it should be one common goal. And this includes for sports team or you as an individual athlete, right? You're interdependent on these metrics. And these metrics are what make you, makes your team as good as it is, or the best that it is, as far as consistently preparing, performing, and reflecting. And for those of you who aren't, let's say, in professional sports or other sports or semi-professional sports, I can go out and I can play soccer or basketball, and with people, I can play tennis with people, whether it's singles or doubles. And even though I may be going out there, and sure, I'm working on a few things as I'm working on my soccer, my basketball, and my tennis. So there's some things that I'm implementing that I want to practice and actually put into use in real time, which is one of the keys, right, to successfully competing. And what I notice is that when I play soccer, the guys, they're keeping track. They really are. They're keeping track of who's winning. They're keeping track of who's winning by how much. And if it gets too lopsided, yes, they do not like it. They want to switch up teams or they want to talk to one another, whatever it may be. And usually when that happens, the next match is more successfully competitive. And although I'm not tracking it, I pretty much know why and know how and what to think and how to think, see and feel. My cue, my routine, and my reward is the process when I'm playing soccer. However, I like to go out there and, like I said, work on specific skills that I've sustainably nurturing, developing, building, growing, and evolving. And so I'm able to do this. And sure, it becomes when the guys get into that mode, right? And they're trying to figure it out. Sure, I'm right with them, right? I'm congruent. I adapt and I make slight adjustments. Now, the key is how that's done, the communication skills used, the calm demeanor, the empathy, and does everyone have input? Or if not everyone, at least the ones that are contributing or are keeping track, we're trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, when to do it, the way to do it. And so this is not someone who's coming from the outside advising or coaching or training or showing leadership. Although that could happen very well. And of course, they would then look at a lot of the factors that they would look at and what they would track. And that's a completely different level than what I'm coming at. I'm coming out with the existing people and figuring it out amongst themselves. And how does that happen? Each one of them shows leadership and they're tracking their specific metrics, whatever they may be. And of course, they're tracking the team metrics. So you go to the gym. Do you go to the gym and you're good with, hey, I went to the gym 3 times this week? Or do you have a spreadsheet and you track it? Which exercises did you do? How many reps? What's the weight? Now, the reason you do this and the reason companies or organizations or any team or even you as a person, your business, your family, you do this. How many times did you go out to eat this weekend, etc., or this week? Is so that it's data analytics or business intelligence, some people call it, or data intelligence or data mining. And what you'll see in there is, first of all, you'll see some patterns. You'll also see where maybe you could revise something and you're evaluating it, looking at it with the wrong view. I'll give you another example. I have been injured lately. So I've been recovering from a slight MCL tear and some shoulder pain. So I went And I have not been playing sports that much. I've been doing shadow training, shadow work is what I call it. And therefore, yesterday I took my tennis basket, I took my tennis racket, and went to the tennis court. It was approximately 3:30. Not sure what the temperature was. I think it was around 89, 90 degrees. I went out there and I tracked it. I hit 100 serves, not in a row, but 100 serves. I hit about 50 forehands, 50 backhands, hit five overheads, three volleys, and then I hit some just what I would call some shots that I normally wouldn't hit, just trying to get them to go to the next best level, right? Looking at like the racket speed and how it comes through the ball. And so as I'm doing this, of course, today, I am a little tired. I'm thinking, why am I tired? I seem a little fatigued. Well, the logical reason, the rational reason, it makes a lot of sense. I use my common sense instead of I get up on myself instead of getting down on myself. Get up on myself, pump myself up, credit myself. So I look back and I think about my day and I look at my spreadsheet and I look at what all I've done. I'm like, well, the reason is because you were in the hot sun playing tennis. And if you've ever served or hit 50 tennis forehands, 50 tennis backhands, and 100 serves, and five overheads, and three volleys, and a few shots where you're working on your racket acceleration and how the racket comes through the ball, you'll know that that's very challenging. The reason is you're there by yourself. There's not an opponent. And anything you do by yourself, you can do it by yourself. You can do it against an opponent. You can do it in front of a group of people. That includes presenting. When you can present your material to no one, then you can present it in front of a group of people. And so once I've had the right view, the right approach, the right mental outlook, and tracked it and looked at my tracking, I was smiling again, congratulating myself. I was pumped up. Hey, that makes a lot of sense. There's no need for me to be not supportive of myself or congratulatory of myself or happy about my results or my performance, right? Because naturally that's going to occur. I haven't been playing, haven't been really going out there and doing anything. And that's definitely a different rhythm, pattern, tempo, momentum, compound effect occurs than when doing shadow work. You can still get a pretty good workout depending upon what kind of shadow work you do. However, I don't do shadow work for an extended period of time. Some people may, I don't. I do shadow work more for to know why and know how to use my critical thinking performance cue or confidence cue, see what I need to see, my slow motion, look through my cue, my routine, my reward, and then breathe and have instructional self-talk or skilled motivational self-talk or feel the specific body part. What am I using? So that's very important. And so now with this outlook, right, which is a very realistic outlook, and maybe you're doing the same thing. This could be in your family, it could be at work, it could be when you're playing sports, it could be anything. Are you tracking it? And if you're not tracking it, then I'm sure someone's tracking it. And when they're tracking it, depending upon what's being tracked, it can cause a lot of conflict. It can cause a lot of friction. It can cause a lot of blaming each other. It can cause stress. When that starts to happen, you start feeling stress, getting stressed, then that's when you stop becoming who you are. And you get into this almost like become something that you're really not. You may become short with people. You may be raising your voice. You may be uh, denigrating someone or demeaning someone or incivil, disrespectful, unmannered. Instead of, and if you want to, you can go back at yesterday's episode on the importance, even in a fast-paced environment, regardless of what kind of performing team you're on, the importance of a calm demeanor, empathizing, and then having excellent communication skills. That was in yesterday's episode. So this was a lot to pack in today because I added a few more items, and I'll unpack those items that I added in tomorrow's episode. However, the key items to remember is, are you tracking, tracking, tracking everything that's important to you? And obviously, if you're have nutrition, you have your exercise, you have your time with family, extended family, friends, you have your work, your job. What are the key metrics you're tracking? And as you do that, can you go and talk to someone about those? Right? We're supposed to learn from each other, make practical breakthroughs in learning. That's what we're there for. Now, a lot of people sometimes they don't have the excellent communications to do this. They think that and feel and see or sense that, hey, they're supposed to be able to do this. And if they do that, then that's not, it shows that they're not in tune or aligned with what they're doing, congruent with their job, their work. And that's actually completely opposite. It actually shows that, hey, you're able to do it. You're very capable. You're looking to advance. You're looking to progress. You're looking to consistently perform, consistently improve. And that's very important. I can guarantee you almost anything that you've ever learned, skill, implemented, practical, that after doing it for a few times and being successful at it, that you're able to be more successful at it. And how'd you do it? Well, one of the ways is by having excellent communication with your peers, your teammates, your partners, your customers, and really looking at, okay, yeah, I see. So I can become a little more effective and efficient here by looking at it this way, thinking about this, seeing this, feeling this, or maybe not. because each person is different and unique. However, it's not a one size fits all, right? And so my outlook on my day today, because again, I was a little fatigued, a little tired, is all of a sudden I'm smiling a little bit in my mind if I'm not smiling out loud. And actually now I'm smiling out loud a little more. And my disposition and my energy flow, my endurance is good, right? All because of this shift in the way that I looked at the tracking that I did do. Now, there are times when this can cause major problems because we know what's being tracked, the speed that we get this order delivered. And so everyone has their cue, their routine, their reward, and it's a process. And what happens? If they start going below the tracking time that's designated, then someone starts stressing. And they come, and all of a sudden, their need is the most important. I need this now. I need this. They're waiting on this. And what happens? You got all these other orders as well. And so now everybody's coming to each other, right, with their need is first. And this can cause a lot of conflict, friction. Then they go and they talk amongst each other, or they go to someone in management or their manager or leadership, and he or she's not doing what they're supposed to. They're the one to blame because the metrics aren't the way they're supposed to be. Now, if you had the right people who had the excellent communication skills, calm demeanor, empathize, excellent communication skills, and even the management, if they're there, or the manager or leadership, then these things wouldn't happen. So everybody has their lens, their viewpoint. However, is it the right speech, the right view, and then the right action? And this isn't just a solution of where, well, I'll say or tell them what to do, and they'll just do it. Well, there's more to it than that. And that's where the excellent communication skills comes in. So to wrap this up, your bonus assignment is, are you tracking? And the things you're tracking, what are you tracking? Are they the important metrics to track? Because what you're tracking is what's in front of your mind, is what you're going to go towards. And if you're not tracking it and it's not being measured, then most likely it's not at the front of your mind, and that's not what you're going towards. And therefore something else is there. And what else does tracking do? Here's the second bonus. What tracking does is it actually informs you, or you're able to see when you look at it, of what exactly you did, what you accomplished, what you achieved, the successes you had. And you realize that you're actually, most likely, you're there working. You're doing good work. You're working good. It's good work. It's sometimes hard work. You're working hard. You're hard working. You're a diligent worker. You're getting along with people. You'd like to continue to progress, consistently perform. Your cue, your routine, your reward process, and all of those progress over time. And so now you actually feel a sense of accomplishment. You see a sense of accomplishment. And now if I look at your appearance, your posture, body language, the way that you are carrying yourself, your energy, your endurance, just your whole outlook, your calm demeanor, your empathy, your ability to get along with people, and your ability really to, although these are all necessities of living, or it's part of your job, your work, your business, your task, you're paid, you're compensated. The key is that it's enjoyable and fun. Enjoyable and fun. And that's when it becomes something that's enjoyable, it's fun, and it's beneficial. You're paid, you're compensated. And that's when it becomes easier to successfully compete, sustainably nurture, develop, build, grow, evolve, and progress to the next best level, and to consistently perform your cue, routine, reward is a process. And you make adapting, or you adapt and make slight adjustments, right? Now, that's what you could do. Now, of course, also, if you used a different technology, different piece of software, right? Different ways of tracking. See, a lot of times, and here's your third bonus, the qualitative drives the quantitative. I'll say that again. The qualitative drives the quantitative. So is your calm demeanor coming from a place of contribution? Your empathy coming from a place of contribution? Your excellent communication skills coming from a place of contribution, of working together, of highlighting, acknowledging and seeing and recognizing your highlights during your day, during your week, and you track it and all the things that are important to you. Because as that qualitative occurs, then the results or the outcomes are driven by that, right? So the three bonus assignments for you. The first one is, are you tracking what you're tracking, measuring it, being specific about it, so that you can do your own data mining, own business intelligence. And then you can actually have a sense of accomplishment that you did achieve something, you did do good, and that you are doing good. And you can then look at it with the right speech, the right view, and the right action. Your second bonus assignment is for you to look at, are you coming from a place of contribution when you're working together with people, with another person? You're amongst other people. Are you all contributing? And then the third bonus assignment is, there some piece of technology, software, something that could be done? Maybe upgrading the routine or the process or what's being measured. Maybe we're tracking the wrong thing. Qualitative drives to quantitative. Are we tracking the right thing? Maybe we're not, right? Maybe we're not. We're putting the emphasis, what we're tracking and measuring, on the wrong thing. Maybe we're putting it on the outcome or the result, which is important, obviously, to track that. However, to receive or get or accomplish or have that sense of accomplishment, what are we qualitatively tracking and measuring? Remember, the qualitative drives the quantitative. That's what I have for you today. If you like my podcast, like it and comment in the comment section. For those of you who are interested in private, personal, professional, confidential services and programs with me, visit my website, rajgavurla.com, fill out the brief form, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Enjoy your day and have fun.